Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Resilience plus Rise podcast, where we explore the stories of extraordinary individuals who are extraordinary. The people, they are ordinary, but they have done something extra too, and we call them extraordinary. Individuals who have turned their life's challenges into powerful opportunities for growth and impact. Each week, we shine a light to those who inspire others with their resilience, innovation, determination, attitude, and unwavering drive to make a difference. This podcast is based on the book that I'm writing, Resilience plus Rise, which will be coming out in early 2025. Today's guest, saying that I'm excited and honored, gives you would be kind of an understatement. She has been one of my best friends for the last 3 plus decades. And whatever I say, I don't want to say it from a biased point of view, but if I'm supposed to describe Smriti Shivdasani in a statement, I would say that she's a lady who has stared death at its face and come out triumph. Yes, she's a cancer survivor, stage 4 cancer. She has had practically every challenges that a cancer should could throw at her, but she survived and she's a winner. Even before I can talk about the cancer and things, she had a very strong and a lucrative background. If you talk about it, she was in investment banking, she was in retail banking, she got into entrepreneurship, she was a jewelry designer, she went into real estate, relocation consulting, and this was for a long time. But there came a point in life when she just walked away and she got into healing, facilitating, and coaching. For me, I've been lucky, no, forget, lucky is not exactly the right word, but blessed to learn a lot or follow the footsteps. And me in turn have been growing. But anyway, let's really jump into Smriti and ask her about her journey. So, with this, Smriti, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Thomas, for having me here. I am so grateful for our friendship that, like you rightly said, spans over 3 decades plus. And I also feel so blessed to have you in my life. So, really beautiful. I'd like to start off by saying that I did read your book. You know, I had that good fortune to read it as you were, uh, completing it. And thank you for sharing it with me. What I really love is that you walk your talk. Um, and this idea of equating life to a marathon, it just resonated with me because, when challenges come, they don't take an appointment and come.
Of
Challenges
course.
just show up. And just like you can't run a marathon if you're asked to run it like, in the next 1 hour or tomorrow if you've not trained for it, similarly, when the challenges come up, it is very difficult to face them and deal with things that come up and go through it if somewhere you haven't had the training of building yourself up as a person mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So I loved that correlation. You know, life is like a marathon.
Thank
Definitely.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Uh, just allow me to interrupt you over here. Also, guys, Smriti, she's a well acclaimed and renowned coach. She has won the Life Masteries awards by Mary Morrissey group. Correct me if I'm wrong, but for the last 3 years. And this is not a small feat. It's world renowned. And along with it, she has been along with the likes of Dean Nagorowski and all the other top coaches. And if you go to her website, which I will be putting out on my the links or the comments, you will see that her understanding of life itself is a page turner. There's so many things you can just glean, and you can say, wow, I can do it. If there is hope, there is determination. But here I want to ask you, Smriti, is that tell us about your journey in a few lines, and more than that is that what makes you this light that, of course, guys, I'll be very much open. I call her sunshine because she's always brought that particular type of light in my life. So guys, let us know what makes her shine so bright. So take us to a journey.
So before I go there, yes, I won the Impact Award from the Brave Thinking Institute that has been founded by Mary Morrissey, and I've had the good fortune of training with her and the entire faculty. And I again have lived everything that I have learned, and that's what I use to coach people. And another thing that I want to comment upon is the word cancer survivor. I don't look at myself as a survivor. I look at myself as a thriver. So currently, I do have a physical diagnosis of fourth stage. Um, the journey with cancer began in 2012 with breast cancer, and then in 2018 it had spread, and multiple organs had to be removed. And by the end of 2018, it had spread further, and I was told that there is not much hope for me. And it was a very, very uh, challenging time and also a very dark time. And that journey, when I was first diagnosed, is what led me to explore the world of alternate healing, because I'd already lost my mom to cancer, and my father had also been diagnosed in 2012, and he left in 2013. He passed over. So I was very curious as to what creates illness in the first place. And that's what drew me to alternate healing. And as I started studying, for the first time, I can say, started understanding the connection between body, mind, and spirit. Till then, anything that occurred at a physical level was just physical for me. I did not have the correlation of that there can be some emotional factors that could have led to the illness. And so I started working from that perspective. But when in end of 2018 and early 2019, when doctors gave up on me, I knew that while I had addressed things at physical level and I had addressed things at an emotional and mental level, it was not enough, because obviously I was staring death in the face. And so I had more questions about why do we have, you know, illness, and why do we have hardships? Because I've had my share of hardships, whether it was being on the road without any money at one point of time before I became an entrepreneur, or having hardships, difficulties with relationships where I felt very unloved and cheated and all sorts of things. So my question was, how does life get created, and what is it that I'm missing that has not, you know something I'm missing, right? Otherwise, I would have been feeling better by now. And here I am, in this scenario. And that's when I realized that I have addressed things at a mental, emotional level, physical level, but there's also a spirit level. So, to begin with, I am a spiritual being, I'm an energy being. And somewhere along the line, uh, I have not awaken to that fact. And that's also part of the human journey. Nothing wrong with the fact that you don't remember that you're a energy being to begin with. And that's where the turnaround started happening, where I started looking at the truth of who I am and then starting to live more and more as that truth, that I am an energy being, which is uh, infinite, which is boundless, which is powerful, which is creative, which is intelligent. So I am an embodiment of that one energy that has created this entire universe. And I think that would probably sum up my journey. So the more and more I live as that, the more I thrive, and I am thriving. And which is why I don't call myself a survivor. I call myself a thriver. I am in treatment. I'm in hospital every 3 weeks. I go through treatment, um, but nothing phases me. I've had my share of pain and nausea and losing hair, and I've howled at times, and there have been times when death seems just so much easier. But the whole invitation of all of this pain, the hurt, the hardships, etc., is to awaken to who I truly am. And when I awaken to the fact that I am bigger than my conditions, my circumstances, my situations, by the virtue of the fact that I embody that intelligence that has created this entire universe, my journey just turned towards thriving. So it does not mean that the pain stopped and the side effects of chemotherapy stopped and all of that occurred. But by and by, the more I have gotten in harmony with who I am, and I am being bigger than the condition, than the illness, things have just gotten better and easier for me.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Actually, over here, when you were mentioning, I was also, my mind just took a recess and went back to one of our previous conversation wherein you had mentioned about Marianne Wilkinson, Return to Love. And I had the fortune of reading that particular book or hearing the podcast in the last few weeks. And I don't say I understand it because I got to walk the talk, but it has been absolutely transformative about what you had mentioned. And guys, actually, if you go to her website and you see some of the testimonials, and I've also known few other people who have had her coaching sessions, or she has been the conduit or the healer, allowing them to see the light. Could you tell us a little more about the practices or the coaching that you do, and more so from the point of view that when people want to bounce back, of course you are a walking talking epitome of what it is all about, resilience. And for me it is more than anything, it's a privilege and it's an honor that our paths we have walked together on these particular things. Of course I've not been in that some of the lows at point, but then I've been with you, I have known what's been happening around in its own way, or maybe just as a bystander.
Thank you.
I'm feeling quite emotional. So let me stop over here before I start
Thank you.
just going through that thing. But yes, please tell what drives a person towards resilience, or what drove you to standing up and saying enough is enough.
So, what I have understood from all the deep study that I have done over the last 20 plus years, whether it was through my Buddhist practice, through all the beautiful books that I've read, the amazing trainings that I've had the good fortune of having with some amazing people in the world. Um, what I have understood is that nothing is happening to me. And that's the starting point, to recognize that although in that moment I feel like a victim and I feel that it's happening to me, I've got to start from there, that nothing is happening to me. Everything that is occurring is for me, it's in my favor. There is some good in this. I cannot see it right now, but I will see it. Like if I have to paraphrase Steve Jobs, he says that, you can only connect the dots together in hindsight, right?
True.
So when you are in a dot, you are going through something very tough. In that moment, it looks like everything is happening to you, but actually nothing is happening to us. And this is the starting point where even though I found it very hard to believe that I am the creator of my life, but that is the point to start from. That I am the creator of my life. I have come here to have certain experiences. I have come here to evolve, to grow, to basically awaken to the truth of who I am. So there's nothing wrong with me. I am not broken. I am not incomplete. It's not that I'm not good enough. None of that. I am whole. I am complete. I am, an expression of that one energy, that one intelligence that has created this entire universe, the sun, the moon. I'm an expression of that. So how can I be anything less than complete? So if I am able to start from there, that this is happening for me, this is my curriculum for growth, and then I allow life to flow. Otherwise, what happens is we resist. So I teach something called working with the law, and one of the laws is law of non-resistance. So when we resist life, yeah, and what you resist persists, because
Persist.
wherever you put your attention is where the energy goes, and that's what grows. So if I'm resisting what's going on in my life, I'm giving it so much energy that it's only going to build up more and more. So what I've got to do is I've got to allow it, embrace it, knowing that there is some good in it, even though I can't see it right now. So that is the point where I start that, okay, this is what's going on. I am not a victim here. This is happening for me, not to me. And then the next part is, all right, so where is it in my life that I am functioning unconsciously, where I am holding, resentment, blame, etc. in my heart, because I'm not taking responsibility for my life as a creator. Because obviously there's some blame game going on where I'm blaming, certain external factors for what I am going through. Oh, you treated me like that, and I was always hurt, and so now all that is turned into tumor. I can, blame 10 things for why my body is where it is. But is that really true? No, it's not. I am the creator, because if I do not own up to the tough stuff, then how am I ever going to step into the power and create the good stuff? Because I'm denying my creatorship.
Hmm.
So it's a tough one. You will say, but why would somebody create abuse? Why would somebody create fourth stage cancer? Why would somebody? But when we before we take on this physical form, in that moment, we know who we are, that we are infinite, we are boundless, we are limitless, and we have it in us. And the whole journey is about awakening to that light we are, to that love we are, to that boundlessness that we are. And then to be able to invite more and more people to awaken to that truth within them as well, because that's what everybody is. We are
You
all
make
bound.
you make it sound so simple, but for a person whose word existing, oh, like today is Monday, it's a Monday, but looking at that, hey, the fact that that's what I usually tell myself. I've woken up in the morning, I put my feet on the ground, I'm so blessed. Aha, life is for living. But when we are so tuned by the societal norms, can either criticize, complain, compare, the three C's of the three pillars of how a lot of people build up. And that's when we talk about the victim mentality, the blame mentality, and all the elements as such. Now, for them, just to have a mind shift, if I could ask, what could be something that they could do or just be mindful that they can at least move from existing to living? We are not even going to driving part of it, but just that putting a switching on and say that end of the day they feel
This exactly what I said, that I am not a victim. This is not happening to me. And then you start putting your attention on looking for the good. Okay? Because what you put your attention on is what grows, right? Because that's where the energy flows. So instead of focusing on what's not okay, yeah, and how horrible it is, start looking for the good. Okay, this is not right now okay. I understand that. So we are not denying what's going on. We do not deny the facts, but we do not let the facts have power over us. So stepping into your power can only occur when you are willing to entertain the idea that there is good in this and you start looking for the good. And that's when some good starts showing up. That, all right, thanks to this, like for example, when I didn't have any money and I had no job, and I was literally like, I didn't have anything. Yeah. It was a very scary moment. I didn't know where I'm going to get my next meal from. I borrowed some money and I started my life. And in that moment, if I look back, of course, that time I felt like a victim. But if I look back, what I did was I looked as to, okay, what can I do right now from where I am with what I have? And that's really been the way I have lived all my life. What can I do right now from where I am with what I have? There's something that I can do right now. And there's some good here that I can tap into. So, this scenario of having no money helped me become very creative because, when your back is right against the wall, that's when you get creative because you've got to find some way. You can't move forward, you can't move backward. The only way is you can go downward or you can go upward. So, you're already down, right?
true. Hmm.
So, the only place you can go is upward. So, you go up. So that's what I do. Okay, right now, I don't have this working in my favor, but there's something that is still in my favor, which is, like you said, I'm alive and I'm living in a field of infinite possibilities. And that's where this expansion of our awareness helps. That's where study helped me a lot because I was always drawn to studies and understanding what life is all about and how life gets created. At least I had some basic awareness that there are possibilities available, but I need to be in alignment with those possibilities. And the only way I will be that is by stopping myself from, focusing on the, what's not okay and look for the good. So look for the good. Okay, what is this enabling me to? What is this pushing me towards? Maybe it's helping you become more creative. Maybe it's contributing to you becoming more independent. Maybe it's contributing to you learning how to speak up. Maybe it's contributing to, you making choices beyond fear, you know, feeling the fear and still doing it. So it's expanding you, it's helping you discover something in you that you never knew you had. Okay. So I discovered a courage and a strength that I never knew I had. I discovered creativity in me that I never knew I had. I probably had some, but I didn't know to the extent I had it. So when you begin to see that this is an invitation for me to discover who I am, to discover that greatness within me, that becomes your starting point. And because now you're focused on looking for the good, looking for the greatness to bring out that greatness, ideas start coming to you, resources start coming to you. So do what you can from where you are with what you have. Right now, I don't have much to be thankful about, but I can be thankful for this. And gratitude is one of the amazing ways of shifting your energy. So start with gratitude. It's very tough in that moment to feel grateful for fourth stage cancer, or for that relationship where you've been abused or you've been cheated, or for the fact that you don't have money to put the next meal on your table. I am not denying the challenge of it, but do I want to stay there? No, I don't want to stay there. I want something better for myself. That's where that discipline has to come in. That I want to have a pity party, but is this pity party going to create anything for me? It's
So
not
true.
going. So if anyone can help me, it's me.
But that's so true. Because the other day when I was reading about, I think it was in Return to Love also, that people are comfortable because it's the pain that they know, rather than looking out for the release or the freedom they are not known. But
Absolutely.
just over here, just being mindful of the time. One of the things which you mentioned was gratitude. So, guys, Smriti is having a session on gratitude towards the end of the year, and I'm not too sure whether it's open to everybody.
It's open
Uh,
to everybody, whoever wishes to
Everybody.
do it.
Okay, so
Yes.
let's for people who still believe or who wants to thrive. Okay, they may be, we may be. I do my gratitude journal practically every time. Not every time, but every usually in the evenings, I write down what are the things which I'm thankful for, or things which have everything is good. If I look at it, I don't see that there is a pitfall, but I always see it as, you know what, it's a challenge for me to grow, something that I can grow out of it, and I'm thankful for it. But having said that, as again, as I don't want to be sounding like a biased statement, but I've known her, I've known few of the people. There is a gratitude platform which is coming up, and also there are some of the amazing courses. Like currently, she's on radical forgiveness, and she was the person who had mentioned is the forgiveness is not just saying okay, it's okay and let's move on. It goes much more deeper than that. There are different courses about healing, talking about being the light, I mean, living the life that you want. And as she mentioned, the laws, there are so many different areas. So Smriti, if you could just spend few minutes about the courses that you're having and the difference it has made to people's life. Of course, I'm blessed again to know what's been happening, because I'm standing at the side and quietly applauding you that yes, yes.
Thank you. So, yes, I am running a gratitude challenge from 27th of December to 31st of December, because a lot of people are familiar with gratitude for. Yeah, there are three levels of gratitude. Gratitude when I will be grateful when I have this or when I have that. Then there is gratitude for, that's which is grateful for something that already is. But the bigger one that creates a lot of shifts in where you are to rise, from those pits to above, is gratitude in. So to be grateful in that situation that you're in, and which is how you draw more and more good out of life. So I'm going to be doing that challenge. So some days we're going to do gratitude for, and some of the days we're going to do gratitude in. And I am okay, so I hadn't publicly announced it yet, it's still to be announced, but
Sir,
I will share it on your platform. So I was guided to offer a call, a series of called the gift, because what happens is when we are surrounded with the tough stuff, it's very difficult to see the gift in that scenario. And then when what happens is, then when you live with the identity of a victim, right? If I believe that I'm a victim, guess what kind of reality I'm going to create? I'm only going to create scenarios which will reinforce my victim identity. So if you want to turn your situation around, what's important is to change your identity, you know, to to identify as the creator of your life, to identify as the powerful being that you are. So I have created a series of calls called the gift, and we were planning to announce it, a few days down the line. And I also chose to gift the first call. So it's called The Gift, where we look at what's the gift in a terminal illness? What is the gift that a death of a loved one holds? What's the gift in a scenario where you have no money? What's the gift in a scenario where your relationship has fallen apart? So there is a gift in everything. And that gift really is, if I have to sum it up in one line, the gift is the discovery of the greatness that lies within you. And through those calls, I want to invite people to explore their stories and start looking for the gift. And when you will see the gift and you will shed the victim identity and step into your identity as a creator, that's what will get reflected on the screen of your life. Because nobody can think for you. Your thoughts can be influenced, but nobody can get into your head and think for you. Nobody can feel for you. Only you, and you are the highest authority in your life. You get to decide what you will think, what you will put your attention on, what you will choose to feel. Nobody else can do that for you. You are the ultimate authority, the boss of your thoughts, your feelings. You get to decide what you're going to do with it. So let's exercise that power. So I want to invite people to see that none of us are victims. And I completely understand, being a radical forgiveness coach, I also understand that all of us have to go through that victim phase. Separation is what we came to experience, so that when we experience oneness, it's one of the most blissful experiences. So, The Gift is a series that I am
Beautiful.
coming up with.
Which I mean, again, just being mindful of and being respectful of your time, is that I would love to continue with this particular thing. But what it just came up is that maybe after a couple of months we can again circle back about this particular element, because I am aware that there would be questions that would be asked, questions to know. But again, guys, go to the link of her website, connect from there, and await for the response. And I'm not talking from a biased point of view, but knowing her is a blessing. And as I mentioned, there are people, yes, who have faced death head on and come out, let me rephrase, thriving. And she's one of them. And as what she mentioned is that, yes, I have taken a lot of my life learnings when I was doing the 7 week, 7 marathons, or when this particular thing of the book came up, is that there are a lot of elements what Smriti and I we have spoken about. Or actually, you know what, I've been more of a learner rather than talking. But then, yes, I used to go through the books of Joe Dispenza and the other type of the greats, Deepak Chopra, etc. But times when we are with somebody who's going through a path which is just not recognizable, it stirs something within your own self. This is what resilience is all about. And with this, Smriti, I would like to thank you. Is such a small word, but it's absolute gratitude about just being in this particular space. You giving me the time, and it has been. It's quite. It's just 7 o'clock. I don't say it's quite early in the morning. It's already. But sorry, I've got goosebumps just listening to what's been happening around. And guys, I sincerely hope you all enjoyed this particular podcast. Do like and subscribe, and find out what else you would like to know. If you know somebody who's going through the challenges and they have risen above, let's meet, let's talk. With this, I conclude today's session. Have amazing day, rest of the week, and the rest of the year. And guys, as Smriti mentioned, be the gift that you're meant to be, not only to others, but to your own self also. Any parting words?
Well, you are bigger than whatever you may be facing, and you have it in you. You've got this. Yeah. The resilience, the courage, the strength is within you. So lots of love and blessings to each and every one of you. And thank you, Thomas, for having me. And thank you for bringing this book into this world. It's such a gift.
Thank you.
Bless you.